On today's show, we discuss the Bears offseason, this year's draft, Caleb Williams, defensive ends, wide receivers, and so much more. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Bears Pod, an affiliate of the Fake Football Guys Network. We're excited to have you, the Bears buddies, alongside us for another great episode of the pod. My name is Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is the greatest co-host of all time, Dustin D.L. Lingerman. What's up, man?
Dude, I'm getting so fast on the trigger that we kind of got a little bit choppy with the internet. Yeah, it's that we lost connections. So I apologize for that. I'm just getting too good at my job.
Hey,
but anyways, I'll delay it. But hey, man, what's up? What's up, my guy? How's your week been going?
Good. Dude, it's going great. I'm feeling good. I'm also a big Arsenal supporter, and we won today 2-0. Against Luton Town. So it was,
You know what? I feel like I think I'm always on the same page as you because I've been watching Ted Lasso. Finished the first season, bro.
Is that Wrexham?
Goldfish.
Or what show? What team are they supporting on that show? I know there's a Wrexham. There's another one.
I don't know.
I've seen bits and pieces of Ted Lasso. Yeah. What team does he root for? I know it's like a team.
The Greyhounds.
Whatever.
The Greyhounds. Arlington Greyhounns.
All right. Arlington
Greyhounds. Is that a real team? Is that a real team? Do we know?
So. No.
We don't know.
I don't think so. He does root for. He does coach a real team. The team is the AFC Richmond. Is a fictional club, but it is partly based on Crystal Palace. So I am familiar with
Crystal Palace. Who they play and they lose to. I wonder. But anyways, it's been very inspirational. The guy is like ridiculously optimistic, as I am with the Bears.
Hey, and me.
I'll pull that in. Okay.
Are you optimistic like that about the White Sox?
Dude, this is a Bears pod. We're not talking about the White Sox. Although the White Sox did get their first win.
They got it?
Atlanta Braves. Yeah, last night. It was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
Really? It did happen
fantastic.
Last night?
It did. It did happen last night. So I was super stoked.
White Sox, and I wrote shit Sox. Sorry. Oh, they did. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, dude. Why you gotta hate? I thought you were Chicago fan. Chicago. Remember we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not too excited about the White Sox." You're like, "Oh, just be a Chicago fan. Go for the Cubs." Blah 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 blah. And now all of a sudden you're shitting on the White Sox. I'm not
shitting on them.
You're shitting.
I think
big dumpster.
Anyway, as a reminder, let's remind the Bears buddies at home where they can follow us on Twitter. DL, if they choose to follow us on Twitter, where can they follow us?
Tweet FFG.
That's right. And remember, if you have any questions, Bears related, fantasy football related, dating advice, whatever you need, DL, what is the hashtag so that we know where to go?
Ask us FFG.
That's right. Real easy. And if you choose to send an email, maybe that's more your speed. Who knows? Maybe you don't have Twitter. I don't know. But if you want to send us an email, you can send us a voice note. You can send us a picture of yourself with a little blurb saying what your question is, whatever you decide. Dale, if they want to send us an email, where can they send us emails?
Super simple. thebearspod@gmail.com.
That's right. Real easy. A little uniformity there. I'm trying to go for that theme. But anyway, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, if somebody wants to send us text, maybe a phone call, maybe, they want to do that, call me directly late at night and let me know while they're breathing heavily, what is the name of the left tackle that the Bears are going to draft? And if they want to do that, DL, what phone number can they call?
That's really creepy. They'd probably be calling like, hey, what's DL's number? Anyways, area code 708-655-4508. Remember, Bears buddies, that is a 24-hour line. So feel free to give a call, drop a text at any time, morning, noon, night. 5 days a week, 7 days a week, whenever you feel the need to ask us your Bears question. Once again, 708-655-4508, 24 hours of the day. What? Bro, anyway. we want to be there for our fans.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer at 2
Oh, you better answer, or just leave a voicemail and you can cuss out JC. We don't mind.
And we'll play it on the show live. So
we will play it on live.
Yeah, exactly. But always, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification button. That way you know yes. Go live. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Another jam-packed show today. I don't know. Are you ready? I have no idea. Maybe you are, maybe you're not.
I'm ready. I
don't know if you're getting text from Adam Schefter. I don't know what's going on over there.
Oh, I did. I mean, not gonna lie. It's been kind of a slow week. We kind of touched on the whole Caleb Williams, Justin Fields debacle. We will be getting into like new additions. I feel like maybe talk about a little bit of some of the new pieces that have been added. But it's been kind of quiet, except for you're absolutely right. Adam Schefter dropped some knowledge today. Stefon Diggs is now on the Texans.
Oh, interesting. Deal. Do you have the compensation by hand on hand by chance?
What? You know what? You would.
I do know.
You just throw shit at me.
While you look that up, Deal.
Okay,
it's a huge deal. A monstrous deal. And I think the Bears were one of the teams that helped set the I guess a baseline of what it would cost to get a premier talent like Keenan Allen or Stefon Diggs.
Diggs.
Yeah. It's interesting. The Bears give up a 4th-round pick and deal. Once you pull that up, I think we'll be able to compare and contrast the two deals. And then I'd like to ask you, DL, what deal you like more?
Real quick. Did you see what we dropped today on our actual post itself? I asked, are the Houston Texans with Stefon Diggs? I said Tank Dell, or Nico Collins, are they top 5, top 10 wide receivers of the year coming up? What do you think?
The duo. I think it's a trio there.
Yeah, it's a trio. I mean, Tank Dell, man, he was. I mean, I don't want to get into. It's not really seeing the compensation. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'll share it. I think they're top 10. I think Houston is making. I mean, they've got some really great. They added Mixon, right, as a running back. Right now, you got another threat at wide receiver, which I think is amazing. And I think they're going to be somebody that's, I think they're running for it with CJ Stroud, right? Like you saw him come out his rookie year. He was lights out. They made it to the playoffs. So I think they're doing a huge push. And not to mention, the Houston Texans had a really good defense too. But here, let me just share this real quick with everyone. Looks like this is all I found. Just a blockbuster trade. I didn't really see any compensation as of yet. They're just kind of talking about Stefon Diggs being added. I looked at Adam Schefter's.
Could you pull up Jamie Eisenberg?
Jamie Eisenberg.
With the Y, Jamey with the Y. He shared. I saw it. Yeah, sorry, maybe it wasn't Adam who shared it. My bad. I think Jamie shared the compensation, but if I'm correct here, could potentially be wrong here. I'm always wrong. I think they gave up a 2nd-round pick, which is interesting because Bears gave up a 4th. EY.
Wait, what?
Jamey. It's right there. He came up at the bottom.
Okay, found him. Here we go.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
No worries.
Okay, thoughts on Stefon Diggs? The Bills. Okay, the Bills will carry about $31.1 million in dead money for Diggs. Wow, pretty much a disaster extension for them.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Okay, so they would have paid up to an extra $20.9 million in 2022 and 2023 to come away with a net of less than a 2nd rounder for next year. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only thing where they're talking about money, bro.
Yeah, so they're basically the Texans have Minnesota second round pick, and the Texans gave up a second round pick, and the Bills gave up Stephon Diggs, a fifth round pick, and a sixth round pick. The second round pick is not this coming drafts, by the way. It's next year's second round pick. And I guess the rule of thumb in the NFL is when you give up a draft for not this year, but the following year, you could reduce it one round. So really, it's a third round pick right now. But long story longer, it's interesting. That's what it cost. You know, the Bears got Keenan Allen for a fourth, and the Texans got Stephon Diggs, admittedly a younger receiver, for a second. If I'm being honest,
he's a head case, bro.
He is.
I'm sorry. He's kind of a and I hate using this word because everyone says it and they say it about wide receiver. Yeah, prima donna diva. Mm-hmm. And you saw that in Buffalo too. You saw it in the Vikings, right? Mm-hmm. So I gave it to him because really they weren't utilizing him effectively. Then he gets on a really great team with Buffalo, and you have a really, top 10, top 5 quarterback, and he was complaining there too. So is it the quarterback? Is it the team? Or is it Stephon Diggs who's moving on to his third team? I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. We did get just a comment. I really think this is towards me. It's from Bobcat. And he says, please do not buy a Caleb Williams jersey. Thank you, Bears fans everywhere. So story time. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm wearing a Mitch Trubisky jersey tonight. I do have a Justin Fields jersey, and so far, I think I'm bad luck, bro. Because every time I buy a jersey, they either suck or they move on. So, Bobcat, I think that might be Brian. I'm gonna buy a Caleb Williams jersey. You can't stop.
No, come on.
Okay, so we got another one from Scotty who's
You're gonna wait. You're gonna wait at least a week, right?
I mean, no, I won't be able.
And what if he goes? What if he goes bananas?
Okay, time out. Remember when Justin Fields got drafted? You know how long it took me to get a jersey? Probably a good solid a year before I could get it. When I got it, that's when he went down here. Anyways, Scotty K says, shout out to Scotty K, IMS alumni. He just graduated this week. It's his last week. Let's clap it up. Let's go, Scotty. Thank you, sir. It's not Diggs' entire, though. It's kind of his camp.
You're saying it's not his fault? Well, I don't know if I'm with that because Diggs literally walked out of practice last year. So,
And he's always crying. I'm gonna get the
ball. And him and Allen, it's kind of documented. Him and Allen don't really get along. And, you're going to do what the quarterback says.
I think Scotty is in that camp because he says, and he always had a game where he gets 3 to 5 targets as a number. Now, Scotty, I hope you tune into the Fake Football Guys because we actually go over that, and you're wrong. You're dead wrong. He got more targets throughout the year himself, and he couldn't come up with the ball. So it's okay. Sometimes we're wrong. Bad takes. I know we talked about that earlier this week with your bad takes. No, anyways, moving on. Sorry, just playing. So yeah, overall, I feel like I guess my initial question would be do you feel like this makes the receiving core for Houston in the top 10, top 5, or where are you feeling with them? Because obviously, I think it's an upgrade.
Yeah, I would say they're top 10. I do want to share though to answer Scotty's question. So this is just last year. Real quickly, he had 8 targets, 7 targets, 8, 5, 11, 11, 8, 5, 7, 12, 12, 16, 11. So at no point did he have 5 or 4 or 3 or 6 targets. I mean, he did have 5 once. My apologies. But outside of that, no, twice. Outside of that, though, I mean, double digit 16 targets. I mean,
And overall, what was his total touchdowns? Because I felt like he was kind of a dud last year in fantasy. Yeah, I felt like a lot of people draft him in. Shameless plug, Fake Football Guys. Check us out on Tuesdays because we will help you win your league. I felt like his production went down. I felt like he went early, and a lot of people were disappointed in what they got this past year, at least.
He was still a 1,200-yard receiver with 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think that's better than decent. I think that's third, fourth round pick, but
but he wasn't going in the third or fourth round pick. He was going probably, third
top
round,
20
third
somewhere.
round, probably third round. Okay. Anywho, moving on.
Yep. I'll go ahead and release that.
Cool. So that was some really great news today. So other Bears news, Rome Odunze, if I'm saying that right, the wide receiver from Washington, actually met with the Jets and the Bears. So are we excited about this? Do we think he's going to be the guy that they take at number 9? Or is it just kind of for show? What do you think?
Interesting. I think Bears fans as a whole, if we go off of Twitter, because, we love to go off of Twitter and Bears Nation on that platform, we've been pretty high on Odunze, and we've basically been mocking Marvin Harrison Jr. to the first 5 picks and Malik Neighbors to the next 3 picks, and thinking that at 9, the guy that was going to fall in all our mocks that we've done as a collective was going to be Rome Odunze. And, I've been super excited. I think in a normal draft, this guy would be the number 1 pick, at wide receiver. But because it's a super loaded wide receiver draft,
over Marvin,
be the third.
I'm sorry, you
said no. No, just in general. Okay, in other drafts, I think last year, I think he'd be the number 1 wide receiver taking in the draft. I think he's in the mold of like a Jamar Chase type of guy, where Marvin Harrison is kind of like a Justin Jefferson, and baby, Megatron Calvin Johnson, And then Malik Neighbors is a speedster. I think he is Jamar Chase. I think I think he's crazy. What was it? Did he run a 4.35 40, something like that? Sub 4.40.
I have a feeling the Giants are going to nab him. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna recircle back again because I know we were talking about this before. With Marvin Harrison, there's been a lot of things coming out. He didn't show up for the pro day. Right. He didn't show up for the combine, which kind of with the old heads of the NFL that really kind of miffed them. Right. Because no one, pretty much he's going off his name and he's like, I don't have to show you anything. Right. And a lot of people are saying that's hurting his actual draft or his positioning, I would say. Right. So I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts. My thoughts, I think he's going to be good. He wasn't injured. I'm hoping he kind of falls tonight. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's kind of, but you never, there's a question. Do you think he could fall to 9 to the Bears?
Talking about Neighbors?
No, I'm talking about Marvin Harrison.
Oh hell no. No.
Who's going to grab him then? Who's your guy or what team?
I think if Arizona stays,
okay.
They take him. I think
they take him over Neighbors.
Yeah, I think Marvin Harrison is far and away the number 1 wide receiver, a la Caleb Williams is the number 1 quarterback in that mold. I think he's that far and away that good. Truly, I think people said going into last year, while he was still in college, that Marvin Harrison was a Hall of Fame wide receiver prospect right then and there. So I think Marvin Harrison's gone. I don't think he makes it past 6 in any scenario. There's just no way. He's going to be the first wide receiver gone. Now, if you want to talk about people falling.
Well, hold on. We got some of the Bears buddies chiming in here. We got Bobcat, who honestly said that he can confirm that Odunze has a solid character. I know one of his high school teachers.
Nice, interesting.
So look at this. In the Bears pod, we got some insider source. So I like that. I hope we get him. Next, Scotty K says Cardinals. Cardinals all the way.
Yeah, Cardinals probably.
Or a team may trade up if he falls too much. I think he's talking about Marvin. I don't think he's talking about Odunze. Do you think Odunze falls?
Yeah, I think he could fall to us. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So would you rather have so the biggest question that I have for you is who would you rather have at number 9? Do you want a wide receiver? Do you want a O-line, or do you want someone or the best player available? I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah. Sorry. I think it could go a lot of ways. I think in a perfect world, the best possible talent after Caleb Williams that could help the Bears would be Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't see any scenario where he falls, to be honest with you. I just don't see it. But anything could happen. After Marvin Harrison Jr., I probably would say Neighbors. After Neighbors, I probably would say Odunze. And I
really like Odunze. I'm high on Odunze. But
yeah, I don't think there's any drop off between Neighbors and Odunze. I think they're just a little bit different, but I think there's no drop off.
Obviously, Marvin is our guy.
Marvin is the guy, yeah. And somewhere in there, I think, interestingly enough, and I know you didn't want to talk about it yet, but we got to talk about some of these other positions. I think we're enamored at the wide receiver position. I think we're afraid we love that as Bears fans that Keenan Allen is here, and I think we're afraid that Keenan's going to leave at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think he's a rental player. I'm on that bandwagon.
So I think he's a rental player. Receiver. Yeah, that's why you take one just to mold him, prepare him to take over, that number 2 role.
Yeah, exactly. And here's why is that, Keenan Allen, Pro Bowl, 12 years in the league, right? Yeah. Like he's kind of getting a little long in the tooth, right? I'm not saying that he's not going to ball out this year. I'm not going to say he's not going to, because he's amazing. Once you kind of get to that level, and I'm not saying he lost a step, but if he did lose a step, he knows how to get the ball. So I think he's fantastic. But yeah, absolutely. I love that whole mentor, get the young guy, get it rolling out. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about how old Keenan Allen is. I mean, he's not, freaking walking chair or anything like that. The guy is 32 years old, and Stephon Diggs is not much younger. They're similar age. So, I think,
well, we're talking football, bro. And Keenan Allen's 31, by the way.
But Keenan doesn't take big hits, man. Keenan Allen does not take big hits. He's a very smart receiver. Some people are going to be upset that he's the kind of receiver that falls instead of taking a big hit. It kind of rolls over, but like he lives to see another day. He's one of those kind of guys, I just think he's a stud. The guy's a stud. So, but with that said, there were some other guys that the Bears have visited with.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, because the Bears buddies are. This is a live chat, so I'm gonna. Bobcat mentioned that Odunze or an edge rusher at 9. I do like the edge rusher thing. Scotty K mentioned this thought. Just a thought. Polls went on PMS.
Pat McAfee show.
Oh, thank you, because I thought maybe he needed Midle. And compare the Bears situation to how they started to build the Chiefs. What if Poles wants to get a Kelsey Mahomes connection with Bowers and Williams?
I mean, it would be interesting. If that's the case, I think they could trade down to 12 and get Bowers still.
Yeah, they got. How many? We only got 4 picks, right? The Bears have 4 picks overall.
Yeah, you trade down to 12. You accumulate another second, or a future second next year's draft, and
Shout out to the Fake Football Guys Dynasty analyst, Mike Hall. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining us.
FFG Mikey G.
And actually, Mark B said that Keenan Allen will play like that Travis Kelce role, which I agree. Awesome. Okay.
Which basically means he'll kill a zone. It means that he'll find the soft spot in zones, a la Travis Kelce. He'll be a zone killer. He'll do a lot of pre-snap adjustments, basically running back and forth, left and right, from one spot to the other, from the left side of the line to the right side of the line, or vice versa, to let Caleb know if they're in man or in zone. And honestly, you're not going to see him really go deep too often. I would be surprised the amount of deep routes he makes this year. If he goes over 25, I don't think he'll go over even that. I don't think he'll go over 20 yards 25 times. I don't think that'll happen. I think you're going to see a lot of in routes, a lot of comeback routes, a lot of digs, things like that. I think you'll see the kind of routes that they're zone beaters. Basically, you'll just find the soft spot. In a cover 2, if you're looking at a cover 2 and here's the line, it'll be on the outsides and the soft insides. That's kind of what you're going to see, and a little further back on the sides. You're not going to really see too much deep with Keenan Allen. But yeah, it'll be really interesting. With that said, though, the Bears also met with some other players, DL, some future potential draft picks of the Bears. Among them, I know that I believe Scotty said he was interested in D end, or maybe that was who said they were interested in D end? One of our Bears buddies.
I'm gonna say Bobcat.
Bobcat. Well, Bobcat. If it makes you feel any better, the Bears did meet with Chop Robinson and Dallas Turner thus far.
I like Dallas Turner.
Yeah, I believe they have Jared Verse coming up here to meet with him and do their 30. Basically, they meet with them, ask them some questions and get to know the player a bit. So there's a few guys out there that I'd be interested in. I definitely would like an edge rusher, and I think the Bears will have a crack at number 9 to get potentially the best guy on the board, if not the best guy, the number 2 guy in most scenarios. Dale, what's your thoughts on defensive end, and not just the guys who are available, but also the importance of the defensive end and how much the Bears might need it?
Okay, so my whole thing is that like obviously we saw what happened last year, right? They got Montez Sweat, and what happened to the Bears D? They went from being like this suck ass like 31, just sucked as a defense, and all of a sudden shot up to like top 10. I'm not gonna give them top 5. Some people did. With that, they were still like the 31st team in regards to sacks, right? With Sweat. And halfway through the year, if they add edge rusher, that's just going to help both their games, right? So I'm really high on Dallas Turner. I think Dallas Turner is coming from Alabama. He's got that first quick step in regards. I think that's going to help both of them. I think it's going to help not only Montez Sweat, but the secondary, right? They just like, I mean, if you look at it, we got Jalen, who just signed another extension. So he's doing. And we got Gordon, we got Brisker. So the secondary overall is going to be really solid. So yeah, the edge rusher is a key piece just to kind of shore up the defense. And overall, I think we're kind of set at wide receiver, right? I think a Marvin Harrison Jr. would be like a nice little like, all right, or like any wide receiver because it is deep on that. But I think the need has to be on defense with an edge rusher. I answer your question. I was trying to sound like professional there.
It's
decent.
No, it answers my question. I would love a defensive end. I've been up and down on the different defensive ends that are available, whether it's Jared Verse or Dallas Turner or Latu, who's out there. Latu does have some health concerns, though. I think he got some kind of neck fusion, if I'm not mistaken. He did have that going. There you go. And there's Mikey with his response. He's got Verse as the top guy, and I don't blame him. I think I saw some scouting, and admittedly, I'm not a defensive end whisperer here, but I am a defensive guy since we are Chicago fans, and we always have good defenses. We know what a good linebacker looks like a lot. I would say I've been watching some and scouting a little bit about Jared Verse and learning that he kind of has one move. Jared Verse kind of has one move where Dallas Turner is more complete, but Verse is a little more. He's got more bend, and then you have Latu, another guy who has only one move as well, but a guy who just has a knack and an instinct to get to the quarterback.
What I really like about Dallas Turner is that he can actually drop into coverage as well too. Like if we look at like Fluce's whole mantra, right? Hits, right? And it's being fast, on your feet, get to the ball kind of mentality. That's what I like. I don't like the guy who has that one move and that's all he can do. And then like if they catch on to it, especially as a rookie, he's not going to get much production. Whereas with Dallas Turner, like, hey, he can help out the secondary, right? And especially if they start like messing with him with the rollouts or the drop off passes. Who knows? Maybe he gets a pick and it could be a pick 6.
Interesting. I mean, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I think a lot of times when you have a D end, you have one guy that strictly just goes against the quarterback, and another guy who kind of, takes on a lot of the blocks, another guy who does play in coverage. It's going to be interesting. And the Bears probably need a defensive tackle as well. That's something we don't really talk about a lot. You did see some of their young guys coming up and looking pretty good at the end of the year, but they might have a need there as well. But let's talk about another. I know we're talking about the D-line a lot. Let's talk about the O-line, DL. How much do you think the Bears might need a tackle? How much do you think that maybe Poles is a smokescreen in here and might go with a left tackle of the future potentially and try to protect this young investment in Caleb Williams?
I mean, we kind of alluded to that last week in the first episode. Like, I really like how Ryan Poles is building these lines, right? Like, if you look at Dallas, 5 years ago, they had the wall, right? Yeah. Nobody get it through, and Dak had a day. Like, he was good. He could pass it. He could run it. And what can you do there? I like this aspect. I would like Alt. If we could get Alt, I don't think he's going to fall to number 9.
Let me ask you, if he does, and Odunze is still there, and all the defensive linemen, the edges are there, who would you take? Because I could see a scenario where
I'm gonna go with
absolutely.
Yeah. If you look at it, we can dive into that, but I would honestly take Dallas Turner because I think that's the missing piece for the defense, and we all know that defense wins championships. Thank you.
I think I'm in the minority here, and I like that. I like that take. If Joe Alt's there, I think I'd take him before Odunze or any of the defensive ends. That's kind of where I'm at. I think Joe Alt could be a all-pro at left tackle. I think he's the closer one, the guy with the highest ceiling and the highest floor of any player that may be drafted going in. That's projected at number 9. I think Alt is, he's massive. He's a huge guy. Notre Dame's a tackle factory, as we know. Not too far away from here. Could you just imagine? You get all, and that's not to say that the Bears are in trouble at left tackle. They're not. They have a pretty standard run-of-the-mill, guy at left tackle. But to see Alt come in here, I think would be huge. I think it would really shore up the line, and it basically just give more protection for a guy in Caleb Williams who doesn't need a whole lot of time, but with more time, I think he would be deadly.
Okay, let's check in with Bears buddies. Scott said, do the Bears really need an edge that can drop to the coverage when they have invested so much money into coverage? Edwards, Edmonds, Bird, Brisker, Johnson. Yes, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, the way I look at it is like that's one more person that can help with tipping the ball or getting that wide receiver. So yes, I don't think I think it's not necessarily why you would draft him, but I think it's just like a little bit of a cherry on top that like not only can this guy get after the quarterback, but if you need him to drop in coverage, and let's not forget that it's football, man. Like people get injured, so that's one thing where they can kind of shore up that if need be. So
one word, DL, versatility. It just allows you to be versatile as hell.
Yeah, why not?
Stuff,
you want a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark B, I think, had my back here, says, allows you to disguise your coverage that much more. Thank you, Mark B. So suck it, Scotty. Moving on, Scotty K said that this is what he's looking for. He's looking for a left tackle edge, and lastly, wide receiver.
There you go. Scotty agrees. Left tackle. I know it's not the biggest need. Yeah.
I like to switch it up, man, because like I said, our defense is there. But keep in mind, if everyone watch, I'm sure everyone who's watching our pod right now watched last season, right? So I would say that like you saw our defense struggled, right? And maybe they had to gel a little bit, maybe because Flus wasn't calling the plays, maybe because the defensive coordinator was too busy watching certain videos they shouldn't have been watching, and that's why they struggled. However, I said it. However,
is that even true? Do we know that?
I don't know. It's allegedly.
He was hanging out with P. Diddy, allegedly?
Allegedly, this guy was just bad news bears, no pun intended. Well, it kind of was. Anyways, moving on.
That'd been a good name for the pod, right?
What? Bad news? I said bad news bear. You shot that down, bro. You said no. Anyways, I'm moving on. I hate you guys. I hate you. Long story longer.
What's your how would you rate it? Would you put you think for you have edge rusher first, wide receiver second, left tackle last in needs, or how would you rate the
I would edge left tackle, wide receiver.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I think that Keenan Allen move really shifted everything for us.
It did. Really. And we also got depth. Like, don't forget Tyler Scott, man. I'm really high on Tyler Scott. I know a lot of people are just like, they drafted him. Like, when he was drafted, I was like, oh, shit, Cincinnati, good pick. I think, his second year, you're going to see a little bit more of him. The dude can run deep, take the top off things. I thought he was better than Mooney, personally. So I'm actually really excited about him. I think we have there's a lot of depth at wide receiver, which we haven't had in like 3 years, right? We were like, oh, we got Mooney and some other random guy, Pettis. Remember Pettis? He's back too. We got him in the room. So I think we're good at wide receiver. Are we the best? No, but I think I'm really excited. I mean, that's a fantasy league or a fantasy team. If you think about it, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. Like if you had those guys on your team, you'd probably be pretty excited. I mean, it's not like top, but you'd be like, okay, these guys are going to get production done. So that's where I'm at. And even last year we were talking about defense, right? What was missing? Oh, we need an edge rusher. They don't have an edge, blah, blah, blah. You get sweat, and all of a sudden the defense has a pretty big uptick, right? Imagine two guys, two elites, or at least top 12, top 15 edge rushers.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help you out, right? And then all of a sudden they're taking away the ball from the offense and putting it back into Caleb Williams' hands. It's a foregone conclusion, bro.
Yeah.
We know Caleb can score. So that's where I said.
Where are you at on trading down? It's something that we haven't really discussed too much. Where are you at on trading down? And how far back are you willing to trade down? What are you looking to accumulate potentially if we did?
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you what I think. I think.
Yeah, you go first, bro, because I haven't even thought about this. I was like good at 9. I don't really want to trade down. Like for what? What are you trying to do when you're trading down? Get more draft picks for
because we only have
other
4
rounds or
yeah.
Okay.
I think the Vikings are somewhere in the teens and then in the 20s. I think the Vikings are like at 12 or 13 or 14, somewhere in that range, and then like 21 or 23 or somewhere like that. If it matches dropping down 3, 4, 5 spots and we get 2 picks within 20 picks of each other, sign me up. Absolutely. And then you could address multiple needs. Then you could potentially get one of the left tackles that's out there, whether that's Fashanu, whether that's whoever it is potentially.
Wait, time out. You think you can get Alt? You think he's going to drop in the later rounds?
At 12, I don't, probably not. But
Vikings have 11 and 23.
Okay, there you go. From 9 to 11. So that the Vikings, it's not something that you see all the time, but you let the Vikings go out and get J.J. McCarthy, you drop down to 11.
Although the Bears, according to Bobcat, the Bears did meet with J.J. McCarthy. So
I think that's just I think they're just doing their due diligence.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just giving them.
No, that's fair.
Anyways, I don't think Alt's gonna fall that deep. I really don't.
Okay.
Don't, because a lot of people are talking about him. I think we'd be lucky to get him at 9. Like, you want to pull up like the little draft? What'd you like last week? You had that. Like, let's look at the draft picks. Let's pull that up.
Okay.
I'm a visual guy myself. I don't know about you. I'm more of a visual guy. You gonna pull that up? You want me to pull it up?
Yeah. Give me a quick second.
Okay. In the meantime, Scotty, just chime in. Thank you so much, Scott, for just being active with your horrible takes. No, just kidding. If you favor quality over quantity, then you pick at 9. If you favor quantity over quality, then you trade down. It just depends which side you're on. Well, obviously, Scotty, we want quality, not quantity. But I see where you're heading, because it depends on like the depth chart, right? Like, where are we the most?
How close are the Bears? I think that's the real question. How close are the Bears? If the Bears are close, you do quality. If they're far away, you want quantity. That's just my breakdown.
Let's look at this. So obviously, I'm going to say the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. I think Washington's going to take Jaden. Is that the guy from LSU? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Patriots, I think, are going to take what's his name?
Drake
May. Cardinals are going to take a wide receiver, right?
I think they trade out of it. But let's just say for shits and giggles in this case, they take.
I've heard Neighbors. I've heard they're going to take Neighbors. Okay. You think the Cardinals are going to trade out of it? To who?
I do. I think they're so far away. I think they're going to try to accumulate picks and just try to completely rehaul everything. To probably Minnesota. I think if the Vikings came and said, "Hey, we'll give you 11, we'll give you 23, and then we'll give you next year's first. Give us number 4 or something." I don't know, something to that effect. The Cardinals would have to jump on that. They just have to. But let's just say,
do you think Justin Jefferson would be in that mix though? Do you think they're willing to do that? No? Okay.
No, absolutely not. No.
I'm just throwing it out there. Never thought.
Okay. I get it.
So the Chargers,
they actually asked the GM the other day on he was on like Football Row or something. He was like at the draft, one of the combines. He was somewhere, and they asked him that. He just laughed. So he said no.
Jalen Daniels, Drake May. Yeah, I think you're right, because it looks like a lot of people are saying this, that the Cardinals are going to trade back down. And that's where the Vikings are going to take pick 4, JJ McCarthy. Have you seen? You watch CBS, so you know what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, that's just the consensus. But let's not confuse anybody. Let's go to Arizona. Let's say they take Marvin Harrison. Let's go to the Chargers. They're going to take a tackle. You'd think they take a left tackle, right? They need to protect Herbert. Here's where I could see Alt going, or they just gave away Keenan Allen. They gave away Keenan Allen. Maybe they take Neighbors or Marvin, whoever's available.
I think they're going to say either. You're right. I think they're going to take Alt, right? Because you're absolutely right. Like Herbert has been injured quite a bit. They need him to produce this year. If they don't, they're definitely going to grab Marvin because, Keenan's gone. Mike Williams is gone. Who's their wide receivers? They got nobody. So, all right, keep it moving. Pick 6.
Then they go to the Giants. You got to be wondering, okay, well, where are the Giants leaning here? It would not surprise me if the Giants went quarterback. I don't think they're happy with the money that they're giving Daniel Jones. I think they could go any number of ways.
What's his contract? Quite frank. Though? Didn't he got extended last year, right?
I think if you're enamored with a guy enough, I think you take him regardless of who's there. I just think that's what happened. That's what you should do.
I see Neighbors going there. I see Malik Neighbors going at that point because what has the Giants ultimately struggled at, right? They have no wide receivers at all. Name a wide receiver that you had in your fantasy league or name a wide receiver on their team that's actually put up any numbers or healthy enough to put up numbers. So
I know it's just been a hodgepodge there for a while.
But I think honestly, this is where I think Alt's gonna go. Number 7 with Tennessee.
Alt to Tennessee? Yep. Yeah, I could see that. The Giants core receiver, Tennessee goes with a lineman for sure. You could see that. Then Atlanta comes up, and Atlanta's got a ton of firepower. I think Atlanta's a team that could go in a bunch of different directions. I think they're a loaded offense. It would not surprise me if they also went with a wide receiver. It would not surprise me if they went, in a completely different route and took a defensive end. There's a bunch of ways.
Like a Jared Verse.
It's probably the best available end. Whoever that would be in this scenario, which in my mind wouldn't be Verse.
I mean, I could see do you think the Bears should actually try to move up? If scenario, don't move up. Move down.
Only.
Okay.
Let's say they go to 7. Let's say they're at 7. And Marvin Harrison's there. And Joe Alt's there. If they're convinced that one of those two guys is going to be the difference, to
but Atlanta has level, Mooney.
You do it.
Why? Atlanta has
Mooney or not. But let's be real. I think Mooney's a really good number 3. I don't think he's a number 2.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm poking the bear.
Yeah. And then you go over to 9 at Chicago. That leaves us with an embarrassment of riches. We probably will have the pick of the litter at defensive end, more than likely, or the pick of the litter at tackle. And if we don't, we'll probably have the next best thing at both positions, or the next best thing at wide receiver. So I really think the Bears will have a good shot. And I think the Bears will have an absolute opportunity to get Brock Bowers, the tight end, who is crazy fast.
Yeah, but why? Oh, wait. I've heard this take before. And I still am scratching my head because here's the thing, you already have tight end. You just extended Cole Kmet. Why do you – and I get it. You're going to go into this whole he's versatile. He's a gadget player. He can do all this and that. Did you see him? Blah, blah, blah. I know you're going to go that route. I already know that. So I'm going to throw that out there. I get it. He's a talented specimen. But at the same time, the need is, like we said, right? We said edge, O-line, wide receiver. Now all of a sudden we're going to throw this random gadget player in at number 9.
He's much more than a gadget player. I think he has the ability and the potential to be the best tight end in all football. I think he could be that good.
So then why did the Bears sign who they signed?
No, because you go out and you
prepare. Why did you extend?
Because you don't know how the draft. What do you mean? Because I don't like that take. I don't think that's a good take on your end.
I think that's a great take. Why would you load up on tight end if you think that Bowers is going to be there and he's the next coming? He's a Travis Kelce. I've heard these takes. He's the next Travis Kelce. He's better than Travis Kelce. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Just a myth.
For the same reason that the Kansas City Chiefs had a quarterback in Alex Smith and then still drafted Patrick Mahomes. That same reason. Because when a player comes that you believe in and you think this guy could be the next best thing, could make us better, could elevate us, and maybe not right away in the interim, but down the line later on in the year or following year, if you really believe that and you have that kind of mentality towards a guy, you make that move. And Brock Bowers is the kind of guy who I could see a lot of teams, running to the podium and putting, his name on the card and turning it in. I think he's got superstar written all over him, and it would not surprise me if he ends up being the best offensive player in this draft.
I'm not discounting the guy's like potential, but like for you to comp like, oh yeah, it's like Kansas City taking Patrick Mahomes. Like you're talking about two different positions, right? Quarterback's the number one position that each team. It's the most important position that you need to have on a team, right? It doesn't matter if you have the greatest wide receiver or tight end. So for Kansas City to take Patrick Mahomes, that was genius. For us to take another tight end that could be, and he might be, when we have needs at O-line, edge, wide receiver, I think is foolish. And that's just my take. You, by all means, go for it. You can die on that hill. But I think that would be really, really stupid to take him at number 9, right? Because there's too many holes, and tight end isn't a hole that the Bears need to fill. That's just my take. But we can move on. We can agree to disagree at that point.
I think he's the kind of player, though, that you could put anywhere. You can line him up at receiver. You can line him up at tight end. You can line him up in the backfield. You wouldn't do it too often, but you could do that. I think he's that talented. I think he's that good. He's the kind of guy you could do that with.
So like a Tariq gadget player. Okay.
I mean, Tyreek is Tyreek. I think he's one of the rare guys, but it's the same reason why the Bengals took Jamar Chase. They already had AJ Green and T. Higgins, and they still went out and got Jamar Chase because they believed in the talent.
AJ Green was on it. He's been on the outs. He was over.
Yeah, he was on his last legs. Sure.
Yeah, he was on the other side of the hill. Like they had to get a wide receiver.
They had a young T. Higgins. They had a young T. Higgins at the time, and they went out and did it. And they had a up and coming young Tyler Boyd at the time in 2020 when they took him going into 2021. They took Jamar Chase. I think if you have enough conviction in a guy and you believe that person could be great, you make the move. That's just kind of.
I'm not saying he's not going to be great. I just think it'd be foolish when there's so many needs. So you rather have him than over an edge rusher or offensive line. That's what you're saying. You rather have him over all the guys that we just mentioned. That's your guy.
If the Bears trade down to 11, and Bowers is there, and they believe in him.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about number 9, bro. We're not talking about 11.
Sure. If Odunze is gone, and I personally don't love the defensive ends in this draft. I don't love them personally. If Odunze is gone and Alt's gone, and you like Bowers enough, I think you pull the trigger. And
so I would not take Bowers over Dallas Turner. That's what you're saying.
I don't love them. I get.
I'm just trying to figure. I'm trying to figure out because all of a sudden you're flip flopping to like, oh,
I'm not flip flopping shit.
We're not talking.
I'm telling you the truth.
No, you did.
I could see them.
You said if we traded down. You said if we traded down to number 11, I would take Bowers. But now all of a sudden
you're going to 11. I don't think Odunze's going to be there.
Let's put it on the tape. You think the Bears should draft at number 9, Bowers, a tight end.
If Odunze is gone and Joe Alt's gone, I'm not mad at taking Bowers after that.
Okay.
Yeah, personally. Yep.
Hold on. Let me get, what time is it? Just trying to make sure I get the time clock here. Okay, I got it. All right, cool. We're going to take a look at this after the draft, and we'll see how you feel. Actually, we'll take a look at it after the whole season and see what happens. That's a crazy take, bro. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that like you would take another tight end at number 9 when there's so many holes for the Bears to fill. You're going to take a number 9 because he may be that good to move him around. Like I've heard the takes. Did you
hear what I said? If Odunze is gone, if their 3 receivers are gone, and if their tackles are gone, the ones that they want, I think they're interested in a left tackle. I really do. And they take a tight end, I wouldn't be mad at it. Personally, I would not be
I'm not going to be mad at it, but
then they could take an edge later on.
That's a funny take to be like, all right, tight end.
I don't think it's a funny take.
I'm not saying it's crazy. I'm not saying it's that far of a reach, but I'm just saying the need, right? And I get because like you could move him over to like a wide receiver 3, right? He kind of plays like that, right? I mean, they use him as a tight end in Georgia, but he could line up as a wide receiver 3. You could put him anywhere. I get it. But my whole thing is okay, I see what you're saying. Like, fine. I'm talking out loud. I'm trying to walk through this because I just don't understand why you would take a tight end if you don't need one. If we're talking best player available, right? And I see what you're saying. If they're all gone, blah blah blah. But I don't understand why you're giving up on like Dallas Turner and all these edges. You're like, they're trash.
Never did once did I say that they're trash.
I didn't say you did. That's why I'm asking.
I don't love the defensive ends in this draft. I don't love any of them. I think these guys are more like mid to late first round picks. I don't really think any of them are Will Anderson or any of them are, Hutchinson. I don't think any of them are superstars this year. None of the three, personally, that people talk about with Latu and Verse and Turner. I don't think any of the three are superstars. But if you think that Brock Bowers is a superstar, you like him more than the three edges, I would not be mad at that. I think at this point, Pace has earned the trust of not just the fan base, but ownership, in the league. I think people are going to confide in him. And if he believes that's the move to make, and that's the move to make. Personally, I don't think they'll go that way because I think that Flus has a lot of power in that room, and Flus is, pounding the table for defense. He wants his defense built the way he wants it. But, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
Okay, I'm ready to move on. I'm over this.
Yep. Gotcha. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Ultimately, the Bears are sitting in the catbird seat. They get to do whatever they choose, and they're going to have an embarrassment of riches when these teams come calling. Because at number 9, the Bears could go anyway, and if they trade it down, I would not be mad at it either. I would not be mad.
Okay, well, I do have some supporters. We got Lord Goose. Thanks for showing up, my guy. He says definitely edges. Thank you, Lord Goose. Glad I'm not going crazy here and thinking that I just am clueless with football. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is a draft. I mean, anything can happen. If they went with it, I mean, he is a talented player. I'm not saying like they would be just like ridiculously out of their minds for taking him. I would just be very, very, I wouldn't be happy with that. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you get like the best guys off the board and that's your only pick and he's the one, all right, go for it. But I just shocked with another tight end. But moving on. All right, cool. So we covered that. We went over through the draft. At this point, we're getting closer to April 25th is the draft. Real question is, are we doing a live show? Are we going to go through all these picks together? Are we just going to do the first one? What are your thoughts? What can we give to the Bears buddies to get them excited? What do you think?
I mean, we could potentially do the first 10 picks, we could do a live look and, wherever we're at, and we draft with them. Those 10 picks take a long time, though. I think they get 15 minutes between each pick. So
I do like the first 10 picks. I say we stick with the Bears pick. I don't think we have to go through each and every single one of them, like with a 28.
No.
Ooh,
just the first.
Mikey join. No. I'm just saying, like, what is it, like 28 picks? And if we're a Bears pod, no one gives a crap about.
Yeah, we could do like a group. We could do like all people from all over the place. If we have any Vikings fans, we have them check in when the Vikings are up and talk to us about what they think. If we have any Jets fans, they jump in. There's some people out there that I know could represent these teams, and we can go around the horn with people as the drafts are the picks are made. Would not be opposed to that. But
I got a lot of family members in South Dakota, and South Dakota doesn't have a team, so Minnesota is there. So I get my aunts, my uncles on there, so we can do that. See what they think, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to anything. I'm open to whatever ideas, always. So
okay, great. So Mikey wants to join the chef, so I think that's great. And yeah, I think that's all we had. Did you have anything else that you want to cover? Or?
Yeah, actually, we did have a poll out there. It's a very interesting one. Do have some votes out there. Let me go ahead and share this poll. As always, remember to vote, Bears buddies. Always interesting to know what you guys think and what you guys feel. But we did spend a lot of time on number 9. What do you guys think the Bears should do? The poll is, what should the Bears do at number 9? Draft a wide receiver, draft a defensive end, draft the best available left tackle, or trade down. Kind of know where we all sit. I think, DL and I would not be mad with a wide receiver going, and I think we would not be mad at a left tackle going. I think he would like a DN more than I would, and I'm open to tight end. I'm open to the idea potentially. I think, there may be a guy in this draft that could stand out and blow up. So go ahead and get your votes out there. Let us know what you guys think, as always. DL, on the way out, is there anything else you got for the Bears buddies?
Not so much. I mean, definitely like, subscribe, add to our channel. Don't forget that hashtag, ask us FFG. It's always good. I was trying to bait some people earlier, but come on next week. JC, we have some new stand-in hosts.
Hey,
so yeah, we
guys are interested.
Yeah, man. We got Marcus, who's going to be coming on next week, and then the guy after him is called the Derek, and you understand why. Right.
Nice. If Scotty ever wants to jump on, I know Mikey Hall's out there.
I asked Scotty, and he said that he's working at this time, so that's why he can't make it.
Okay. I mean,
but at least he's tuning in. Thank you for tuning in.
We could always do a stand-in segment if anyone's ever interested. We're more than happy to have the phony homies out there to join us as always.
Wait, hold on, because you're a soccer fan.
Manchester United Football Club will always be bigger than Arsenal.
Ooh.
Well, hey, let me ask you, Scotty, who is on top of the Premier League? I'm just curious, what team leads the Premier League?
Okay, I do want to say this real quick. What I find interesting about soccer that I didn't know until I started watching Ted Lasso is that if they don't do well, they get sent down.
Get relegated.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that football should do that.
You see who runs the Premier League right now? You see who's in first?
Oh, hold on.
And
there you go.
Here's lowly Manchester here. But at the top of the standings is my Gunners, Arsenal.
Ooh.
So.
All right. I have no idea. I have no dog in this game. All right.
That's great. No worries. But as always, DL. Bears buddies, if you're out there, please. Let us know if you're interested in co-hosting a show with us. We'd be more than happy to do it. This year, I'd like to go ahead and try to do a live remote at some point, DL. We can definitely do that. I do have some places that would be more than happy to have us, but it would be cool to get some of the Bears buddies out there to join us.
Yeah, I mean, we could do David and Buster's on draft nights. I know there's another show actually doing that.
What's the show? I'm curious.
It's called Blow the Whistle.
Nice.
Apparently they get 250 views. A week.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be kind of funny if we were right next to him, come over here.
Are they big in Germany though?
No, they're not. Or Mexico. We have that market kind of cornered. So
that's right. Anyway, Bears buddies, that's it for today's episode, Bears Nation. If you want to talk Bears with us, you can do so always on Twitter, DL. Where can they talk with us?
Tweet FFG.
That's right. And then remember to use the hashtag for any Bears-related questions that you have for us by using the hashtag DL.
Bears or Ask Us FFG.
That's right. Either one of them works. And then if you choose to send us an email, we're always responding to emails. We love the emails. DL, where can they send us emails?
thebearspod@gmail.com.
And then you can leave those fantasy questions there on Twitter. Or if you want to give us a call, we'll play your voice on the show. In fact, if you wanted to call us now, I would answer and we play it out loud on the speaker and you could ask your question. If you guys want to do that, DL, what number can they call?
Awesome. 24 hours a day. Area code 708-655-4508.
Pretty simple. That is my personal line. Unfortunately, one day this will come back and bite me in the ass because it's
I'm hoping.
On the internet.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the story dude, okay, first of all, got to quit saying it's 24 hours. That's what I'm hoping. Because I want so many voices. We have 50 voicemails. That's what I'm hoping for. So,
just my girlfriend and
your sacrifice, your sacrifice is our reward. Take one for the team, right? You got this. You got this, buddy.
Yep. Well, we'll see what happens. If anyone does call, we will play it on the show. So even if it's a marketing group, don't even care. So we'll play it on the show.
Ooh.
This guy all late about it.
I mean, that other guy. 24 hours. 24 say yes, Bobcat.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Call him.
Unfortunately, that's right.
All right.
So anyway, Bears buddies, thanks for tuning in to another great episode. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification button. That way you know when we go live. For my buddy Dustin, I'm your host, JC. We'll catch you on another fantastic episode of the Bears Pod, part of the Fake Football Network.
Bear down.
Bear down.